Angel Rota for 2 says, do you think Canada is turning to communism? Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Totally.
I think that's
Not
the
the
direction it's
extreme
going.
kind. We're going to do it better than all the others who did it before, right? That's always the excuse. Like it's such a failed ideology, but nobody else did it right, so we're going to do it right. Yeah.
So
well, listen to what Carney said. Okay, Angela, listen to this, right? So Carney this week or last week, he said like we're not, one of his first things is not 13 economies but one. Okay,
yes.
not 13 economies but one.
Central
And
authority.
central authority. And then he wrote an entire book on the subject, like called Values. And Carney is like sort of a capitalist, but he doesn't believe in free market capitalism where the markets decide. He believes in capitalism where the government decides, which is just a variation on communism. Like he wants to decide what the problems are that capitalism should solve. As an example, what we've been talking about. Carney wants to say, oh, you're a capitalist and you want to build cars, perfect, but you can only build electric cars. And if somebody says, well, there's no market for electric cars, he's going to say,
capitalism.
I'm not going to let you decide that. I've decided you can only build electric cars. So yeah, that's not capitalism. That's communism.
Yeah, it's crazy. So great thing today. I'll just pop this up on the screen. I'm not going to play it, but this was James Lindsay. He was recently in Victoria with the We Unify group. They did another speaker event. Unfortunately, excuse me. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to attend this one. I wish I was, because I'd love to see James Lindsay speak, but it's available on YouTube, which is great. So James Lindsay, We Unify speaker series. In this particular speech, he's talking about this subject. And this is great because I've actually been saying the same thing for many, many years. And people familiar with the channel who've been around for a while have heard me say this before. China is the model, but we're not talking about China, Mao Zedong's China. We're talking about the second China, that came out after what's his name?
Second dynasty or the second
communist dynasty.
Okay, yeah, this okay.
So after Mao died, he left China in ruins, and he the next guy in line, Deng Xiaoping, I think it was his name. Deng Xiaoping. So he came in and he said, we're gonna create one China, two systems. This was his plan for everything. One China, two systems. And the original the mainland China, or the most of the mainland China, would be communist, top down, everything. And these economic sectors that they were going to create along the eastern seaboard were going to be market, but not a normal market, not real market economies. And what they based it on, in fact, was Mr. Funny Mustache guy from Germany, his model for economic revolution. This whole idea of a planned economy that takes parts or semblances of what the market economy would look like, but through a managerial class. So it's fascism. Like, it literally is fascism by all measures of how it works. And this is the new communism. This is neo-communism, as James Lindsay refers to it as. And this is the plan. This is what they want to bring here. They brought it to Venezuela. They brought it to a bunch of other countries. Cuba got the old communism. They never got the new version of communism, communism 2.0 or whatever. But it's socialism. It's all the same crappy ideology. It all stems from Karl Marx and Engels, and Mark Carney praises the guy
and
30 times in his book. This is what's coming here. It's absolutely what they've got planned.
And it's always a form of rules for thee and not for me. Whenever they talk about these concepts, they always use a royal we. They're not included. Like if there's suffering or compromises that have to be made by somebody for this to work, it will never be the leaders. It will never be Carney and his people. You and I will have to compromise, and that's the part I don't like.
Well, because they're going to be the aristocratic class of this new society. You know, they're going to be the shamans. You know, I think it was the shamans in Plato's cave. The people who, you know, everybody has to do the thing, but we don't. We're the ones who get to call the shots. That's how it goes. It's always how it goes. It's hubris, and it's destined for failure. I like Trump's lead. I like what he's doing in the world right now, and he's bringing people together to foster market economies that work on everybody else's terms instead of top down forcing people. That speech, if you can get a chance, watch the speech of him in Qatar. Phenomenal. Like, that guy's a leader who will motivate people to do things on their own, not by force. I can't say that enough. Thanks for tuning in. This is actually a smaller clip from a larger conversation that took place on the channel. If you want to check that out, the link will be in the description down below. We'll see you in the next one. Keep on trucking.